Hello, everyone, and welcome back to our English Learning Podcast. I'm your host, Emma. If you're new here, this is a fun and helpful show where we practice real English conversations while learning useful vocabulary, phrases, and expressions. Today is video number 5, and our topic is something we all know too well: stress and pressure. The emoji for today is because let's be honest, sometimes life makes us feel like that. In today's episode, we're going to talk about what stress and pressure really mean, where they come from, how they affect us, and most importantly, how to handle them. My guest today is Jake. Jake, welcome to the show. How are you feeling today?
Thanks for having me, Emma. I'm doing pretty good right now. But yeah, I have to admit there are days when I'm definitely feeling the pressure. It's great to be here and share some of my experiences. I hope it helps your listeners too.
Awesome. Before we dive in, let's make sure everyone understands the main words we'll be using today. First, what does stress mean to you, Jake? Can you give us a simple definition?
Sure. Stress is that feeling of worry or tension you get when you have too much to handle or when something is bothering you a lot. It's like your mind and body are reacting to pressure. For example, when you have a big deadline at work and you're worried you won't finish on time, that's stress.
Perfect. And pressure? How is pressure different from stress?
Pressure is more about the external demands or expectations that are put on you, like your boss saying you need to finish a project by Friday, or your parents expecting you to get good grades. Stress is often your internal reaction to that pressure. So pressure comes from outside, and stress is how you feel inside because of it.
That's a great distinction. Listeners, repeat after me. I feel stressed because of the pressure from my boss. Good job. Stress is the feeling, and pressure is the cause or the demand. We'll use these words a lot today. Now, Jake, let's start with the basics. Many people mix up stress and pressure. Can you tell us a little more about how you first started feeling stress in your life?
Oh man, it started back in high school. I was always a good student, but my parents put a lot of pressure on me to get into a top university. They wanted me to become a doctor or an engineer. I remember staying up late every night studying for exams, and I felt like I was carrying the weight of the world on my shoulders. Even when I did well, I was afraid it wasn't good enough.
Carrying the weight of the world on your shoulders. That's a great idiom. It means feeling like you have too many heavy responsibilities. Listeners, let's practice. Sometimes I feel like I'm carrying the weight of the world on my shoulders. Excellent. Jake, did that pressure lead to stress for you?
Absolutely. I started getting headaches, I couldn't sleep well, and I felt anxious all the time. I was biting my nails a lot too. My friends noticed I was always on edge, like I was waiting for something bad to happen.
On edge means nervous or tense, right? Another good one. And biting my nails is a common way to show you're nervous or stressed. Great examples. So school was a big source of stress for you. What about now in your adult life?
Now it's different but similar. At work, we have tight deadlines all the time. My team is often swamped with projects. Last month, I had 3 big campaigns to manage at the same time. Plus, I had to prepare a presentation for my MBA class. I felt completely snowed under with work. I was working late every night and still worrying about everything.
Swamped and snowed under both mean overwhelmed with too much to do. Let's practice saying them. Repeat after me. I'm swamped with work this week. And I'm snowed under with emails. Perfect. Jake, how did that make you feel physically and mentally?
Physically, I was exhausted. I had trouble sleeping, my stomach was upset, and I even got a cold because my immune system was weak from stress. Mentally, I was irritable. I snapped at my roommate over small things, like leaving dishes in the sink. I felt like I was burning the candle at both ends, working too much without enough rest.
Burning the candle at both ends means working from early morning until late at night and getting very tired. Another classic idiom. Listeners, say it with me. Don't burn the candle at both ends, or you'll get burned out. Burned out is another important word. It means feeling completely exhausted from too much stress, like you have no energy left. Jake, you mentioned feeling irritable and snapping at people. Can you tell us more about the effects of stress on our emotions and health?
Yeah, stress affects everything. Physically, it can raise your blood pressure, give you headaches, make your heart race, or even cause stomach problems. I read somewhere that long-term stress can lead to serious issues like high blood pressure or even heart problems. Emotionally, you feel anxious, sad, or angry. You might have panic attacks or just feel tired all the time, even after sleeping.
That's really important. From what I've learned, stress can affect the respiratory system too, making you breathe faster or even triggering asthma. And mentally, it can lead to depression or make people turn to bad habits like overeating or drinking too much to cope. Jake, have you ever felt any of those things?
Definitely the tiredness and the anxiety. There was one week where I had so much on my plate that I started feeling like a hamster on a wheel, running and running but not getting anywhere. I was stressed out about my performance review at work, and at the same time, my girlfriend was upset because I wasn't spending enough time with her. It felt like I was caught between a rock and a hard place.
Wow, 2 more great idioms. Have a lot on your plate means having many responsibilities. Like a hamster on a wheel means feeling busy but not making progress. And caught between a rock and a hard place means being in a situation where you have no good choices. All options are difficult. Listeners, let's practice one. I feel like I'm caught between a rock and a hard place with my schedule. Nice work. Jake, that sounds really tough. Let's talk about the different sources or causes of stress and pressure. What are the main ones you've experienced?
There are so many. First, work and school pressure. Deadlines, bosses, exams, presentations. Second, family expectations. My parents still call me and ask about my career plans, which adds pressure. Third, social media. Seeing everyone else's perfect lives online makes me feel like I'm not doing enough. Fourth, relationships and friendships. Trying to be there for everyone while taking care of myself. And finally, money. Paying rent, student loans, and trying to save for the future is stressful.
Those are all very common. Listeners, which of these causes stress for you? Think about it while we talk. Jake, can you give us a specific story about one of these? Maybe the family pressure?
Sure. Last year, during the holidays, my family had a big dinner. My uncle kept asking why I wasn't married yet and when I was going to get a real job instead of marketing. It made me so stressed. I felt like I had to defend my choices the whole night. After that, I had trouble sleeping for days. I was grinding my teeth at night without even realizing it.
Grinding your teeth? That's another physical sign of stress. People do it when they're tense, often in their sleep. And defend my choices is good vocabulary too. How did you handle that situation in the moment?
I tried to keep my cool and change the subject, but inside I was freaking out a little. Keep your cool means staying calm, even when you're stressed. I didn't want to argue with my uncle, but it was hard.
Excellent. Freak out is a common informal way to say get very anxious or panicked. Keep your cool is the opposite. Stay calm. Let's practice both. Repeat after me. I need to keep my cool during stressful meetings. And don't freak out. Everything will be okay. Great. Now, let's move on to how stress affects us more deeply. You've shared some personal effects. Can you tell us about a time when stress really impacted your health or performance?
Oh, yes. About 6 months ago, I had a huge project at work. The deadline was moved up by 2 weeks, and I was under a lot of pressure from my manager.
I started staying up until 2 or 3 a.m. every night. I stopped exercising, I ate junk food, and I barely saw my friends. By the end of it, I felt completely worn out. I made mistakes in the project because I was so tired, and my boss wasn't happy. Then I got really sick with the flu. It was a wake-up call.
Under a lot of pressure. We hear this a lot. Worn out means extremely tired. Wake-up call means something that makes you realize you need to change. This is a perfect example of how too much stress can actually make your performance worse, not better. What happened after that?
I realized I was pushing myself too hard. I started talking to my manager about realistic deadlines. I also went to the doctor, and she told me I needed to manage my stress better or I could develop burnout. Burnout is when you feel so exhausted from stress that you lose all motivation and can't function well.
Burnout is such an important modern word. Many people experience it these days. Jake, let's talk about the positive side too. Not all stress is bad, right? There's something called good stress or eustress.
Yes, a little bit of stress can actually be helpful. For example, the pressure before a big presentation can make you prepare better and perform well. It gives you energy and focus. The problem is when it becomes too much or lasts too long. That's when it turns into bad stress or distress.
Exactly. Listeners, repeat after me. A little stress can be good, but too much stress is bad for your health. Now, Jake, this brings us to the most important part. How do we cope with stress and pressure? What strategies have worked for you?
I've learned a lot over the years. One of the best things is exercise. Even just a 30-minute walk after work helps me clear my head. When I'm stressed, I go for a run or do yoga, and I feel so much better. Another thing is time management. I use a planner and break big tasks into smaller ones. Instead of feeling overwhelmed by a whole project, I focus on one small step at a time.
Those are excellent. Clear my head means to relax and stop thinking about problems. Break big tasks into smaller ones is great advice. Let's practice a sentence. I break my big projects into smaller steps so I don't feel overwhelmed. What else, Jake?
I also practice deep breathing. When I feel my heart racing or I'm starting to sweat bullets before a meeting, I take 5 slow breaths. In through the nose, out through the mouth. It really calms me down. Another big one is learning to say no. I used to take on too many things because I didn't want to disappoint people. Now I say, I'm sorry, I already have a lot on my plate right now.
Sweat bullets is a fun idiom for being very nervous or stressed, like you're sweating a lot because of anxiety. And learning to say no is crucial. Many people struggle with that. Have a lot on my plate. We already practiced that one. Good. Have you tried mindfulness or meditation?
Yes, I have an app on my phone for guided meditation. I do 10 minutes every morning before work. It helps me start the day with a clear mind instead of immediately feeling anxious about my to-do list. I also make sure to have hobbies. I play guitar on weekends, and it takes my mind off everything. Spending time with friends and family without talking about work also helps.
Wonderful tips. Listeners, which of these have you tried? Exercise, breathing, saying no, hobbies? Jake, can you share a time when one of these really helped you?
Definitely the breathing technique. Last week, I had a very important client meeting. I was nervous because the client is demanding. Right before the meeting, I felt myself starting to freak out. So I stepped outside for 2 minutes, did my deep breathing, and told myself, "You've prepared well. You can do this." I went in much calmer, and the meeting went great.
That's inspiring. You've prepared well. You can do this. Positive self-talk is another great strategy. Reframing your thoughts, like instead of, "This is going to be a disaster," say, "This is a challenge, but I'm ready." Jake, any other strategies, like talking to someone?
Yes, talking to friends or a therapist is huge. I have a close friend I call when I'm stressed. Just saying the problems out loud helps me see them more clearly. Sometimes I journal too. I write down what's stressing me and then write 3 things I'm grateful for. It shifts my focus from the negative to the positive.
Journaling and gratitude are powerful. Shifts my focus is good vocabulary. Now, let's have a little language practice section. I'm going to share some useful phrases for talking about stress, and Jake will give examples. First phrase, I'm feeling overwhelmed.
Example. With all these deadlines coming up, I'm feeling overwhelmed. I don't know where to start.
Great. Next, I'm under a lot of pressure.
My parents are putting me under a lot of pressure to find a better job.
Good. I'm stressed out about
my upcoming exam. I've been studying nonstop.
excellent. Now some idioms. I have too much on my plate.
I can't go to the party this weekend. I have too much on my plate with work and school.
I feel like I'm gonna burn out.
If I keep working 12-hour days, I'm going to burn out soon.
Perfect. Listeners, pause the video now and try saying 3 of these sentences out loud about your own life. For example, I'm stressed out about my English test. Go ahead. Welcome back. Now, let's do a short role play to practice talking about stress in a conversation. I'll play the role of a friend, and Jake will be the stressed person. Imagine this. Jake is stressed about work, and I'm asking how he's doing.
Hey, Emma, how's it going?
I'm good, thanks. But you look tired. Are you okay? You seem a bit stressed.
Yeah, honestly, I'm really stressed out right now. I have a huge presentation tomorrow, and my boss is putting a lot of pressure on me to make it perfect. I feel like I have a lot on my plate, and I haven't slept well for days.
Oh no, that sounds tough. What are you doing to cope?
I'm trying to take breaks and do some deep breathing. I also broke the presentation into smaller parts so it feels more manageable, but I'm still worried I'll mess it up.
You're going to do great. Remember, a little pressure can help you focus. Just keep your cool and don't freak out. You've got this.
Thanks. That helps. I need to stop burning the candle at both ends and get some rest tonight.
Great role play. Listeners, you can practice this with a friend or record yourself. Notice how we used many of the phrases naturally. Now, Jake, let's talk about some common mistakes people make when dealing with stress.
One big mistake is ignoring it and hoping it goes away. That usually makes it worse. Another is using unhealthy coping methods, like eating too much junk food, drinking alcohol, or scrolling on social media for hours. Those things might feel good for a moment, but they add more stress later. Also, comparing yourself to others on social media is terrible for stress levels.
Yes, social media is a big one nowadays. Scrolling for hours is a modern problem. Another mistake is not asking for help. Many people think they have to handle everything alone. Jake, what advice would you give to someone who feels like they're at the end of their tether?
At the end of their tether means they've reached their limit and can't take any more. My advice would be, first, recognize that it's okay to feel this way. Everyone gets stressed. Then take one small step. Maybe talk to a friend, go for a walk, or write down your worries. Don't try to fix everything at once. And if it's really bad, see a professional. There's no shame in that.
Excellent advice. There's no shame in that is an important phrase. It means it's not embarrassing. Listeners, repeat after me. It's okay to ask for help when you're stressed. There's no shame in that. Let's hear more from you, Jake. What's one thing you wish you had known earlier about handling stress?
I wish I had known that it's okay to not be perfect. For a long time, I put so much pressure on myself to be the best at everything. That created a lot of unnecessary stress. Now I try to set realistic expectations. I tell myself, done is better than perfect. That phrase has helped me a lot.
Done is better than perfect. That's such a useful mindset. It reduces pressure. Another good one is progress, not perfection. Jake, how has your life changed since you started managing stress better?
I'm much happier and healthier. I get sick less often, my relationships are better because I'm not always irritable. At work, I actually perform better because I'm not exhausted all the time. I still feel pressure sometimes, but now I have tools to handle it instead of letting it control me.
That's wonderful. Now, for our listeners who are learning English, let's do a quick vocabulary review. I'll say a word or phrase, and Jake will give a simple definition and an example sentence. Vocabulary 1. Overwhelmed.
Overwhelmed means feeling like you can't handle everything because there's too much. Example, she felt overwhelmed by all the homework she had to do.
Vocabulary 2. Deadline.
A deadline is the date or time by which something must be finished. Example, the deadline for the project is next Monday.
Vocabulary 3. Burnout.
Burnout is a state of complete mental, physical, and emotional exhaustion caused by too much stress. Example, many doctors experience burnout because of long working hours.
Vocabulary 4. To cope with.
To cope with means to deal with a difficult situation successfully. Example, he learned healthy ways to cope with stress, like exercising.
Vocabulary 5. Anxiety.
Anxiety is a feeling of worry, nervousness, or unease about something. Example, she has a lot of anxiety before job interviews.
Great. Listeners, write these down and try making your own sentences. Now, Jake, let's talk about some listener questions. I asked our audience on social media what they wanted to know about stress. Here are a few. First question. How can I tell if my stress is too much and I need help?
Good question. If stress is affecting your sleep, appetite, relationships, or work for more than a few weeks, or if you feel hopeless or have physical symptoms like constant headaches, it's time to talk to someone. A doctor or counselor can help.
Second question. Is stress different for students and working adults?
It can be similar, but students often face exam pressure and future uncertainty, while working adults deal more with job security, finances, and balancing family. Both groups can feel overwhelmed by too many responsibilities.
Third, what if my stress comes from things I can't control, like the economy or world events?
That's tough. Focus on what you can control. Your daily routine, your reactions, small actions. Limit news consumption if it's making you anxious. Practice gratitude for what you do have. And remember, you're not alone.
Thank you, Jake. Those are helpful answers. Now, for our listeners, I have a small homework assignment to practice your English and help with stress at the same time. Write 5 sentences about what stresses you using the phrases we learned today, like, I feel stressed out about, or I have too much on my plate. Choose one coping strategy from today's episode and try it for 3 days. Then record a short voice note or write about how it made you feel. Practice the role-play dialogue with a friend or by yourself in front of a mirror.
That sounds like a great way to practice. And remember, talking about your stress in English is also good practice for real life.
Exactly. Before we wrap up, Jake, do you have any final words of wisdom for our audience?
Yes. Stress is a normal part of life, but you don't have to let it control you. Start small. 1 breathing exercise, 1 walk, 1 honest conversation. Be kind to yourself. And if you're learning English, don't add extra pressure by expecting to be perfect. It's okay to make mistakes. That's how we learn and grow.
Beautiful advice. Thank you so much, Jake, for sharing your experiences and tips so openly. You've given us a lot to think about today.
Thank you for having me, Emma. It was fun.
And thank you, dear listeners, for joining us. If you enjoyed this episode, please like the video, subscribe to our channel, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss future episodes. We're releasing a new video every week on useful English topics. In the comments, tell us what causes the most stress in your life right now, and which coping strategy from today will you try first? We'd love to read your answers. Don't forget to download the free vocabulary list and practice worksheet from the link in the description. It includes all the idioms, phrases, and exercises we talked about today. Until next time, keep practicing your English, take care of your mental health, and remember, you are stronger than you think. This is Emma signing off. See you soon.
Bye, everyone.